One of the things I missed when we went plant-based was Greek yogurt. That thick, tart, creamy, delightful stuff. Today, I'm going to show you how to make the best plant-based almond yogurt, and I'm going to show you how to store your yogurt starter so you don't have to use those probiotic capsules every time. Welcome to Comfort Food Farms, the plant-based home cooking channel. If this is the first time we are meeting, I'm Kari Greger. I'm glad you've joined us. Let's get started. Making almond yogurt is truly simple. All you need is almond flour, water, yogurt starter, either from yogurt that you've made before or from probiotic capsules, and a little sugar. You will need a high-speed blender like a Vitamix, NutriBullet, Ninja, or something similar. Vitamix is my favorite. When we were starting out in the plant-based cheese business, we got an industrial grade Vitamix that could blend up to a gallon of cheese and never have a problem crushing those cashews and almonds. This is the secret in making homemade almond milk. You can use these probiotic capsules the first time, but then after that, measure out how much you're going to need. Now I'm going to be making at least 6 cups of almond milk. So I have 90 grams of starter, which I took off the last batch of almond milk that I made. Well, this was not exactly the last batch because this has been in the freezer for 5 months. You can put your almond milk yogurt starter in the freezer and keep it for a long time, as long as it is not above 0 degrees Fahrenheit in your freezer. So like I said, this has been in the freezer for almost 5 months, and I've never had a problem. I just keep on taking from the previous batch of yogurt, and I keep that starter in the freezer. Now, what I do is I put it into some warm water, not boiled, just warm, to defrost it. Don't put it in the microwave, and do not put it in really hot. Like this is just like bath water, warm, because you don't want to kill that precious, precious bacteria. Once it has defrosted, I still got a big frozen chunk in here, but we can still see how much 90 grams makes for those of you that do not have a scale. That's about 1/3 of a cup. It's up to the 5 tablespoon mark. We're going to use the big blender size, the big pitcher, because I'm doing, like I said, 6 cups. So I will put in first the almond flour. Now, normally I weigh this out, but since we're doing it for the video, I do have it measured. It's going to be 3 cups of almond flour. This is a 1/2 cup measurement. Two and a half, 3. And 1 tablespoon of sugar. Don't worry about the sugar. The sugar will disappear. The sugar is food for the good bacteria that we are going to be putting in here. Now, I have about 5.5 cups of water. we go to the blender. You can simply cut this recipe in half. It'll fit in your blender. There. We have blended this cream. It's actually an almond cream, not an almond milk, because we have a higher density of almonds to water. After we have crushed our almond milk, then we're going to put in the yogurt starch. If it's got a few crystals in it still that it hasn't totally defrosted, I wouldn't worry about it. Then it's back to the blender just to pulse it. I have pulsed the yogurt to blend in the yogurt starch. You could put water on the bottom and set jars on the top. It's just so much easier just to pour it in. When I'm making this much, especially. So that's all there's to it. Put on our... Make sure we have it on vent. And we set it for yogurt for 24. Here we are. The yogurt is finished. 24 hours later, this is what we get. Here, as you can see, it is finished. Now there is a little bit of liquid floating on the top. You can just stir that in and look at how nice and thick that yogurt is. We are going to weigh out the starter. To do the amount of yogurt that I did in this Instant Pot, I need 90 grams of starter, which worked out to about 5 tablespoons. So, I'm weighing my 90 grams. I tell you, a kitchen scale is great for doing precise measurements. Make sure that your sealers are sterilized. These went through the dishwasher and hot, dry, so they are sterilized. You have to have sterilized. We don't want any other bacteria growing in there besides the good yogurt bacteria. So I'm going to put a label on this with the date and the amount of yogurt that I have in here, and this will go into my freezer at 0 degrees or above, 0 degrees Fahrenheit. If it's below 0 degrees, you're going to kill this bacteria, so you don't want to do that. I pulled off 2 of those sealers. Now with the remainder of the yogurt, I want this to keep a long time in my refrigerator. So I am going to put in a 1/4 teaspoon of salt. And maybe a little bit more. I think I like about 1/3 of a teaspoon. With this stirred into the yogurt will keep for, we pulled some out of the fridge to use on some quesadillas, and it was 2 months old. So at least 2 months. That little bit of salt. Salt is such a fantastic preservative. This batch of yogurt made 1 quart, a pint, and 2 starters for the freezer. Everything's all labeled, ready to go to the freezer. I'm just going to show you after it's chilled how nice that is. Take a look at that. Look at that yogurt. It is thick, it is rich, it is very tart. If you don't want it to be as tart as this, I would back off on the amount of culture time. You don't need to go 24 hours, but 24 hours gives you very tart yogurt that you can use as sour cream as well. It's super great with a little bit of sweetener and fruit. If you found this video useful, give us a thumbs up below. And next week I'm going to be making melted mozzarella. So while you're down there, click the subscribe button and hit that bell so you'll receive a notification when that recipe is posted. Thanks for watching.